Well, I didn't believe heaven existed until now, I suppose. So, I mean, this is genuinely unbelievable. And of course, the big thing that stands out is the fact that you've got this brand new factory, yet you purposely make the decision to hand build all of your cars.
So there's around 30 build bays, a builder to each bay, and they hand build the car start to finish, apart from when it goes to paint.
Caterham represents the pinnacle of British grit for automotive engineering. From purchasing the design for Colin Chapman's Lotus, they've been building the Seven for over 50 years.
A bit unique compared to most of the industry. Like, you take a lot of pride. I know I've seen cars that I built out at racetracks and like in the street, and it's like, you feel a real sense of connection to it. And when you meet the people that have bought those cars, it's like, it's a great feeling.
But this company isn't quite what it seems. Caterham isn't British. They haven't been since 2011 when a Malaysian business duo bought them. And in 2021, they sold to Japan's VT Holdings, who are creating the company's new prototype with Tokyo R&D using Yamaha powertrains. Despite critical global success making the Seven, there was just never a guarantee that Caterham would close each year of operations having made money. And Caterham are not the only ones. Over the last few decades, British automotive operations have ceased almost entirely. Once household name, high-volume automakers are out of business completely, being purchased by other organisations only to be determined as unsalvageable and shut down. Meanwhile, the survivors have fallen into foreign ownership, reduced to becoming divisions of another brand strategy. How did this happen? And how did once world-renowned groups like Rover go from being talked about as making some of the best driving cars on the planet to members of the public simply being sick of watching them struggle, or enjoying the failure of what they were trying to achieve?
British Leyland, for example, is the one that everyone thinks of. It gave a reputation of cars that were looking different on one side to the other, of unreliability, and it wasn't a fair reflection of what we can do from a British manufacturing point of view.
British Leyland, the organisation that started in 1968 as a merger between the very successful Leyland Motor Corporation and the financially distraught and chaotically organised British Motor Holdings. The idea was that by bringing the two together, they could save the country's automotive infrastructure and secure its future.
They did have a reputation, at least latterly, if not when they were being built, for not being as reliable as cars that were built thousands of miles away, with perhaps a little bit more care, and a workforce that was more rigid and structured in what they could do and what they were able to do. When you could buy a car that was made in Japan, for example, and it would start first time and be a lot more reliable, better screwed together, then that was always going to ask questions of the industry.
British Leyland suffered from terrible communication and extremely poor rationalisation between its marques. Furthermore, unions were blocking any sort of structural change which could alleviate issues. The British automotive space continued to drag itself through the mud. Moreover, the end of World War II provided the opportunity for international markets, particularly the Germans and the Japanese, the opportunity to rebuild themselves from the ground up. Meanwhile, Leyland facilities remained unchanged from times as early as the 1920s.
I can remember taking a bunch of German people through an axle shop at Triumph and then them laughing. I said to them, I said, "What's the joke? Share the joke, please." And they said, "Well, you did us a favour, didn't you? Because we've got nothing this age over in Germany."
And that brings us to today, where a majority of our once dominant car makers are dead. The surviving marques operating under foreign ownership have uncertain futures in the country, thanks to Brexit and a mixture of international economic concerns. However, there's another car segment that still exists within this country. And this is a segment where we are still internationally unmatched. I'm of course talking about the country's network of small volume sports car makers. One of them is based in Pwllheli in Wales, called MST Cars.
Yeah, so I'm Caterham, the Managing Director of Motorsport Tools and MST Cars. I started MST from scratch. 2008 is basically when we first started it. So I've been involved in rallying all my life, rallying escorts. So we introduced some escort parts onto the website where we were selling the tools and equipment, and it's just grown from there really. We sell to the world out here on the farm.
The farm from which MST operates has been in the hands of Carwin's family for over 300 years. But it's he who had the vision to take this farm and start building Ford Escort-inspired sports cars.
We're trying to get one a month out at the moment. The plan is to ramp up production to, double that.
So if I was to order one now, how long would I wait?
We do have quite a long waiting list at the moment. We're about 18 months for any new orders.
Wow, okay.
It's just purely because of the amount of orders we've got in the book, basically.
I'm glad to hear business is going well.
Yes, yeah. Busy enough.
It is the niche stuff that really excites me and interests me, and that's where Britain has probably no equals in the world.
Brits are a little bit crazy in the way that they will just decide, I know I'm going to build this 1,000 brake horsepower track car in a shed and I'm going to build something out of it.
When you have a population that is really enthusiastic about motorsport in the way that it is, and you have a lot of engineers who are enthusiastic about it too, then it's sort of inevitable that it just sort of filters out, and before you know it, you've got an industry which still is the best at making niche sports cars.
The knowledge and experience and the know-how of the people that are working there it is the company. It can be expensive to build cars, absolutely, and they're not doing it on a shoestring, but everything is very tightly controlled. Nothing is done wastefully. A lot of the larger manufacturers will waste an extraordinary amount of money. I don't think you'll find BAC or Ariel or MST doing that.
It's everything that makes groups like MST stand out that secure the timelessness of Britain's automotive influence. After all, these factors are why 10 of 11 Formula One teams are based in England, in Motorsport Valley, running from Oxford to Northamptonshire. So despite market forces, internal and external, past and present, relentlessly throwing spanners into the works, our love and devotion and world-class engineering will ensure that the sun will never set on our automotive influence. An understanding of British automotive history can teach us how the country failed one of its most promising prospects. But it can also teach us just how far a simple love for an industry can take us.